My name is Dean Bog, and I really don't know what to call this. Back in March of this year, I was asked to make a documentary about every Carnegie Library location. And then the world took a turn that no one saw coming. A few months later, and here we are, ready to move forward with the new normal. That's not a bad name. My name is Dean Bog, and this is the new normal.
Appointment, or it's just on the regular hold?
No, I said I would come down at 2:30.
Okay.
And they said to call in when I got here.
Well, for special for you, I'll go get it. I'll be right back. Librarians, I think, just are drawn to the career because they're helpers. I was going to be a nurse. Well, I didn't choose that path, but here I am, a librarian. My goal is to help people. So if I can't get close to them, it's harder to help. It's hard to comprehend speech through a mask. And if you're 6 feet away in a library where people are already nervous about talking loud, it's hard to communicate. But what we can do is people walk up, they think the library's open. We say, I'm sorry, we're sort of not open, quasi-open, but we'll help you get the materials you need.
By the time you're watching this video, the status of the library's in-person service is likely to have changed. Part of our new normal is that you just gotta roll with the punches, and there are a lot of punches. As of today, Tuesday, November 24th, the library is closed. Closed, but not out of commission.
So where are we? Well, this is the confusing part. So we're right now, this very day, we just announced a name change, which is a 2-year process where we were formerly the Carnegie Library, Pittsburgh Library for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, which is pejorative to many, insult, like people, the name's bad. It's unmarketable. We'll just stop with that there. And we became LAMP, which is the Library of Accessible Media for Pennsylvanians.
Player on. Press any button. Firewall, FBI, Houston.
We serve people with print disabilities, and what that means is we give people back reading, and that people have lost the ability to read because they can no longer access standard print, either because they have a visual disability or a blindness or a reading disability like dyslexia, or they're unable to hold the book or turn its pages.
I miss my book so much. Oh my goodness. When you are able to send books again, I don't know, I don't do email. I understand what we're going through, but boy, do I miss my books. Thank you for the books in the past. Bye.
For visually impaired folks all across the state, LAMP is the only way to access books. And when the library was deemed non-essential, thousands of people lost their ability to read.
Every time that clicks, that's another person's book order in Pennsylvania. And this happens day in and day out. This person got 5 books on a cartridge, and then we just simply fold it, put this in, and this hamper will go out tomorrow. All these are people. Wow. And all those people are getting books all over the state of Pennsylvania. I mean, even though I worked here for years and I know how valuable the service is, it really was driven home to me and everybody else here when we were answering the phones and talking to people when they did not get these. They would plead with us. And so we were so glad to be able to come back and resume the service. And we have such good people working here. We just hit the ground running, and that's how we got 90,000 titles out in June.
When you think of Carnegie Library, there is a good chance that you think of the Palace here behind me in Oakland. However, there are a total of 19 Carnegie Library locations, and yes, I'm going to list them all. There is a Carnegie Library branch in the Hill District, Lawrenceville, the North Side, Knoxville, West End, Sheridan, Carrick, Brookline, Beachview, Mount Washington, Downtown, Squirrel Hill, East Liberty, Woods Run, Homewood, Hazelwood, and the Library of Accessible Media for Pennsylvanians. Once upon a time, there's also the Library Support Center, which is sort of like the organizational brain for not only all of the Carnegie libraries, but all 75 libraries in Allegheny County. Furthermore, the library isn't just a building with a bunch of books in it. It's an organization that is serving the public in many, many ways.
Newborn to 18 months old, diapers go up to the corner where the sign is and go around the back.
My name is Kathy Battle, and I'm the Executive Director of Western Pennsylvania Diaper Bank. We're out at Woods Run Library. We're giving out books and diapers to families that need them from newborn to 18 months old. Best books for kids with the library and diapers from the Western Pennsylvania Diaper Bank. 1 in 3 families are struggling in our area to provide diapers for their babies because there's no government assistance. So, families have to choose whether they're going to buy diapers or buy food, buy diapers or pay a utility bill. And the only thing I can say is to the community is that we need your support because moms cannot diaper their babies, and babies deserve to be loved and to be diapered.
Today, outside of the Carnegie Library Woods Run location, the Western Pennsylvania Diaper Bank and Carnegie Library gave away over 14,000 diapers and 140 baby book bundles.
And I'm gonna have my friend Bear help me out. This is my son Jacob's favorite little stuffy. So if you are watching and you have a baby, you can use their arms and roll them during this song. This is called Gilly, 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 Good Morning. I would see like 100 kids a day for the most part. That was my normal day, as I would go to the office and then we would collect all our things and go out into the world. I would see a lot of the medically fragile children and they were the first ones to say, we're not letting visitors in. Then, Pittsburgh Public called and said they're canceling classes, and every day was like a scramble to figure out how we could keep doing our work. The community at large in Pittsburgh was requesting, we really miss story time. We miss being able to go to the library and visit our librarian and have that experience. We did decide that having virtual story times every week was one way that we could meet this need in Pittsburgh.
Feeling then was it was this group of librarians who are so accustomed to being in daily contact with their communities, suddenly without that contact and just thinking what can we do? How can we keep in touch with our community? And how can we do it in a way that's appropriate, that uses our professional skill set?
The library has really significantly expanded its holdings and its access of the online tutoring programs that are available, just as a simple example. And while that might sound like, well, who cares? Really think about this. Kids are learning at home each and every day. I'm having to work with my kids and help them try to understand math that I personally am not very good at. And so having that tool available really for me and for my kids is a way to really help the learning that's taking place at home.
If the doors are closed, we are all still there behind the scenes. We want to be there for you. We want to help everybody and make sure that you have the book you want, the movie you want. If you need a Chromebook, if you need a hotspot, if you need tax information, there's tons of us behind the scenes, behind a computer, sitting at their little home office in their pantry that just want to do whatever we can to help you and make your pandemic life easier.
We always say the library's been here 125 years, so it has survived pandemics, it's survived depression, it's survived wars, it survived the collapse of the steel industry, it survived so many things. It will survive this. But we have to be sure that we're smart and we're prudent. We have to think about not only how are we serving the people today, but how are we positioning ourselves to serve the people of tomorrow.